Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Peter just made me laugh. Welcome to this edition of Channel Chat. Today we are talking more 2021 releases. Our last one seemed to be really enjoyed by the crowd. That was awesome. Had a lot of awesome comments about it. But today we have somebody new with us. I'm very, very excited. We have Miss Women Carry Knives. Christina's with us. Hello. We have Casey from KnivesFAST because, well, you know, Casey's got to be on every channel chat.
What's up? What's up? That's funny.
We have Peter, Mr. A Therapeutic Edge, who's making me laugh all the time. Once again, we have Brad, Mr. Mild-Mannered EDC. How are you, sir?
Good to see you.
And of course, we have the one and only Zach Stuff. Once again, now we're not talking Benchmade this time.
Oh,
I know. I probably won't have much to say.
No. Zach.
He's already logging off.
Yeah, Zach's like, all right, we're not talking about Benchmade. See you later.
All right,
no,
hold
Zach,
on. Oh wait, yeah.
Zach, you can talk about Benchmade all you want, my friend. It's fine.
Especially if they've given you some super secret new information, huh?
Exactly.
Come on, huh?
I'm pretty sure he's probably going to save that for his live if he's got anything like that. So, and I don't blame you. But thank you guys so much for doing this again and giving up some time on your Saturday afternoon. I really do appreciate it. But okay, we're talking 2021. We kind of covered. What did we cover before? Benchmade, SOG, a little bit, not a lot. We might do some revisiting. We checked out, Russell was here talking about Artisan and CJRB, which that was awesome. We've got a guest appearance back there behind Christine. Who's that?
That is Chanel.
That's Chanel. Ooh.
Yeah.
So I think this time we'll probably be talking maybe a little Civivi, maybe do some more SOG, some Gerber. Zach might have a few choice words there.
Right.
Well, let's see. Who else are we gonna? Oh, I don't know, guys. Have you? Boker released just when Boker does a release, it's like 5,000 knives, and good luck keeping up. It's almost worse than Civivi.
It's like they store them up or something.
I know. And then of course we got some Spyderco to talk about. So. Well, let's start with Civivi. How's that? Does that work?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's something? Anybody jump in at any time? What's something you've seen from Civivi that really catches your eye?
We actually talked about this a little before we got started. The only one that's really jumping out at me is the button lock.
The button lock Elementum. There we go.
Button lock Elementum. And then somebody mentioned that the only form of deployment is the button. And so now I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but
yeah,
they've dropped in the last, before the end of 20 and now into 2020, they've dropped so many knives that I confess I can't keep up at all. Like I have no idea what's going on anymore. But this one at least is something radically different for them. So I figured that's where we should start.
Okay. No. Yeah. The Elementum was immensely popular. You got to get an Elementum. Anybody, what's a good Civivi knife? Now, I liked the Elementum. I was not on I did not ride the Elementum wave that everybody else was. It seemed to be. It was a good knife, but there was.
Was that because they didn't have a red one?
Well, shush, Zach, you're not supposed to say that. No, I don't know. I mean, it was a good knife. It was a good knife. It's just, I wasn't.
You know what I think is, JB, if I can, I think I think because I'm with you. I think it's a good knife too. In fact, I had one and I liked it, but I think what kind of turned me off with the Elementum was the fits and starts of availability, and then the fits and starts of like different variations, etc. And now it's like been going on for so long. It's sort of like, okay. Here's another. I kind of wish they would have. And I know it's probably difficult from their business model, but it's sort of like, get a supply, get the variants ready, then do a big drop of them, get them out there so people can see all the different kinds. And then, but now I don't know. I just feel like it's sort of this ever relenting stream of some variation of the Elementum, which isn't exactly I mean, it's a fine design, but it's not exactly some kind of groundbreaking,
Right.
at least in my opinion. So I don't know. I mean, I'm with you. It created so much stir, but I guess I didn't totally understand the stir.
So does anybody on this call have one?
Not
Zach's
anymore.
got one. Zach's got
I
one.
have
He
one
was
right
showing one.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
Zach's got the gray one.
Well, that's perfect because I was just about to tell Zach I'm looking through here and they're coming out with a black and blue shredded carbon fiber with the Damascus blade of
Oh
the
my
button lock
goodness.
So
Well, I have the red, and let's see. It's not gonna. My speaker view is not gonna let me come up, but I have the red and black one pulled up right
I
here.
see that. I see it.
And you're talking now, but they killed me, man. They killed me with it. They put it on it. They put a Damascus blade on it.
Right.
And for me, that just like I mean, I've said it many times. It's just too much for me. I love. I don't know. I don't know. It's. Oh, I like that handle though, man. Dang.
No, it's funny.
So-
I'm with you. I mean, this is actually, I think, the only Damascus blade I have currently, and I think for that reason, it's a little busy sometimes.
Late
Yeah.
last year, Civivi released their new super dark Damascus. And they put it on a ton of knives, and people really liked it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. I mean, people really enjoy it, but I feel like it taught them the wrong lesson. Don't just do that on the fancy knives, please, because Damascus, as cool as it is, what is it?
Right.
Really
That's
wrong.
exactly what I keep thinking. Like, for example, I have, and again, not picking on anybody, but this is the Centauri, and it from Artisan, and I'm just curious, what is
No,
it?
I know.
and that's really it. It's just if they would tell me it's a blend of this steel and this steel, I think it would make me feel better.
But I think that's a great point though, Peter. And so I mean, is it? And this I just don't know. Is it more expensive to produce, or is it just a? I mean, because if you're using, presumably not as expensive steels, does that sort of offset the production costs to, I mean, it's sort of, I just wonder if it's sort of a wash, but it's just because of the look, it's now demanding a premium. I mean, this is like an $85 Civivi, right? I mean, and it's not even that big a knife.
Which is the interesting point. Is that they've proven that they can do. I mean, so this is the standard Centauri, right, with the plain blade.
Right.
Yep.
This is one of my all-time favorite knives. So Civivi's proven that they're interested in doing stuff with like S35 VN. Why not make these fancy? Really, it's beautiful, by the way. The blue and the red are both gorgeous.
Mhm.
Why not do that with a blade that the enthusiast market that they're actually aiming at will really want?
Yeah.
That's just me. I mean, they're going to sell a ton of these no matter what I say or do.
Oh my goodness,
They're
yes.
great knives.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not going to get one because I don't want any more Damascus.
Yeah.
I don't want Damascus. In fact, some of the videos that I've done, people actually really complain about the Damascus. They don't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, see, there again, I haven't done a lot of Damascus, just because it doesn't. Well, we don't have through the pass around. We haven't had a lot of Damascus come through the pass around, and it's not something that I just tend to go out and buy because, I mean, I guess I should because a lot of people do like it, and that's what we're here for, right? We're here to show knives to the community, but I think all of us as reviewers at some point or another have a tendency to review knives that we like.
Yep.
And it's just, I think that's just human nature. I don't think that, I don't think it's anything we intend to do. It's like, oh, that's cool. I should get that and review it on the channel. I mean, but I try to show, I'm not huge on Tantos. I wouldn't go out and buy a Tanto blade, but I show them on the channel because people like them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had to pull the blue one up for Zach. I knew he would.
There you go.
I appreciate that. It looks good, but
It
I
does.
get what you're saying on the Damascus steel.
See, now this.
Like an S35 would be awesome.
Yes.
Okay. What else do they have going
on? Oh, which one were we talking about?
Show me all the new big knives. Oh.
Peter just got sad face.
That's okay, because Peter needs to keep ordering them, and that way I'll get them.
Oh yeah, there we go. There's one that that's the riffle. We talked about that a little bit. I like the look of the riffle. You know, I'd have to get the feel or whatever, but I like the look of the riffle.
Yes, sir.
Is that an Isham?
It is
Uh-oh.
a.
Don't tell JB that.
No, it's definitely not an Isham.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. It is. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see if it says. Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
Then it's probably an in-house designer.
Yeah,
That
I'm
doesn't
thinking
say.
so. I'm thinking so.
But
Which
they've
one are we talking about? The
they've
riffle?
borrowed pretty liberally from the older Isham designs that they were doing for that opening on the blade.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's
that's what I was talking about a few minutes ago. Civivi has really mastered the art of moving elements from one knife to the next.
Yep.
It saves them a ton of design effort and you know, which is smart. I'm not coming down on them, but it also, like I said, it means they've released what 30 knives in the last or 40 knives in the last like 4 months.
Yeah,
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. I know that.
I do love that handle shape.
Yeah,
I do too, actually.
I'm digging the look of it for the overall profile of it. I know I probably say that in a lot of your guys' videos. That's kind of one of my go-to, but I like the overall, you know, handle blade profile of a knife.
What's the overall length of that one?
It is
7.98.
There you go. Christine's on it.
3.46 inch blade length.
Yep. So
Okay.
And it actually doesn't specify their designer. You're right. It only says.
Yeah. So it's probably in-house.
Civivi.
Yeah, it's probably in-house. But one point that I did want to throw back, let me just grab is you made a good comment about the button lock Elementum, Peter. Is you're saying some places legally would it be considered a gravity knife? Because that is the only deployment method. So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like the OTFs and the autos and stuff like that. Yes, there are laws against them in certain states. There's laws against them in Washington, right? But as long as
But here's the thing.
And,
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to leave it at this. That some places the gravity knife laws, like here in California, the term gravity knife is written right in with the auto laws.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if technically, if the only way to deploy that is with the button and you don't touch the blade to deploy,
it's an auto. Yep.
It's an auto or it's a gravity knife.
Yeah.
And here in California, it's going to have to be 2 inches or less, or just it's going to be under 2 inches to be carryable. You can own it, but you can't carry it. And nobody's going to make a stink over this little Civivi, but it's a weird choice.
Yeah. Well, and what I was going to say is, I mean, as long as you're not out there, you know, obviously this is definitely not legal advice or anything like that. You know, you have to do you. They're not legal to carry in Washington. Have I? I can neither confirm nor deny. Okay, that pretty much says, yeah, I've carried an auto before.
Yeah, but it begs the question too. I mean, if all of a sudden Amazon, for example, decides to, you know, then they're not going to Washington, they're not going to California, they're not going to New York. I mean, they're not going to some significant population centers.
You're right. They are.
They've immediately cut themselves out.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. They have. And
unless it's got one of those like Spyderco smockish double detent type things going on, but I'd be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see what else with Civivi. I mean, they did have there again, since I'm going to be fair, I'm going to bring up pictures, you know, just because I don't like Tantos. No, but they do have the brazen too. I mean, that's not a bad looking knife. That's not a bad looking knife at all.
Hey man, can you move the thing just a little bit to the right? I'm losing the end of the blade.
How's that?
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
D2.
That's D2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much are those? Does it say?
These are, so retail is 58.
Okay, so I have a question about that then. Now, are they serious about their Send Cut being the new budget line, or are they going to keep making budget Civivis too?
I have no clue.
That's a
I don't
great
know.
question.
I you know, like I thought maybe, you know, D2 Send Cut was going to be the D2 9CR, but I mean,
maybe these were already in the works. Who knows, right? I mean,
well, I think we've mentioned that before. Is maybe they had these planned. They had the, you know, blade steel basically bought, budgeted, whatever. You know, I'm not big on the process. I don't know how it works exactly, but like you say, you know, maybe it was in the works.
Is that the same Tanto blade that was on the other one that you showed?
the other one that I showed.
Hey, you showed
The
another,
riffle?
or is this the riffle?
The riffle's a drop point.
Oh,
Yeah.
then what was the other? Okay, I'm sorry. Never mind.
That's okay. No, it was
The
probably
other-
just a different picture of the.
Well, the
phrasing.
other,
That's-
right, the other Tanto that I was looking at was the one with the weird name, the Keen Natter.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That one interests me. I'm with JB. I'm not a big Tanto guy, but
Oh,
with the forward finger choil and the really neutral handle and the fuller and the thumb stud.
And the
I'm a
compound
big-
grind.
Yeah, I'm a big one on multiple opening methods, which is why I brought up the button lock only being the only one on the Elementum.
Right.
I love
right.
a knife that I can open it multiple different ways because I'm a fidgeter. So I just think that one looks really cool.
See, this is a three-way killer for me.
Uh-oh.
Compound ground Tanto with a recurve. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. I'm done.
And yet that's the only one I've seen so far that I'm absolutely going to have because it's grind, it's recurve. It's interesting.
Right, it's interesting.
Right,
That's
right,
exactly right.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I
So
will-
many-
I think
Go
their
ahead,
blade
Brad.
grinds. Well, no, I mean, I think their blade grinds are maybe what's keeping them a little more interesting to me as well, right? I mean, they're doing a lot more hollow because, one more friggin' flat grind, but it's, so I feel like that is one thing they're taking some time to do that I think is actually kind of interesting, especially on a more budget. I mean, it's got to be easier to do a flat grind than a hollow grind, but so I don't know. I kind of like that I'm with you. I'm, recurve and compound didn't do anything for me either, but it's interesting.
That looks like a Wii.
Yeah.
I mean, Wii
Right,
knives
yeah,
right.
are
right.
fantastic at their multiple grind knives. They do all sorts of interesting shapes, no problem at all. And this is just them making the most of the stuff they have at their disposal, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm 100% behind that. I think it's
Understood.
And then, of
I
course, they're
think
doing the
I think
fixed blade Elementum, too. Sorry.
Oh, no. Cool.
Yeah, they are. They're doing a fixed blade Elementum as well. So
Very cool.
for the fixed
Will
blade
that one
fans
be
out there.
Damascus too?
That is cool.
I don't know. It's not on there. I don't see it on the page. So I would have to Google. Maybe it's an Elementum that's a fixed blade. So it's it's I guess.
Now they'll call it the plus extra
Now, what did you
something
ask about the
Elementum.
fixed blade?
I was kidding. I said, is it going to be a Damascus as well?
You never know. They might. They might.
No,
do
but they
one.
do have a dark one.
Do they?
Is that the?
They do. So here, let's see if I can. Come on there.
Yeah.
So
Let me
those
see
are the
if-
two they're gonna have. That's not coming in clear.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
but they've leaned out the blade quite a bit. That's a much different looking knife. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it is much leaner.
I'm gonna see if I can bring it, get a decent picture of it real quick. So just so we can talk about it.
They have a fixed blade with contour
Yep,
handle.
there it
one
is.
with a flat. There it is.
There it is.
Okay.
They've got this one, which is the dark handle with the appears to be a satin blade.
Is that the fixed blade?
That's the fixed
Yeah.
blade Elementum. That's the fixed
Why
blade
would they-
Elementum.
That
So
one's
the-
10
the-
CR15.
10 CR15. There you go.
CR15.
Wow. We got an extra CR and a few more and a few less
Chromium.
MOVs.
What? I don't understand. Okay.
Now see,
I
now
love
Christine
Peter's
on
face
mine it
is,
says 9 CR.
I'm just looking at the email that the Wii sends out to
Okay.
dealers.
Now this is on. I just have it. It just came up on Blade
Blade
HQ's, and
HQ, okay.
it's saying this one is saying 9 CR. Not that there hasn't been misprints before, because we've seen it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it was probably somebody in Blade HQ saying, "Oh, they couldn't have meant 10. What in the world is that?" And they put a 9 there.
Well, and the dark one, the blacked out, the blacked out version, it says it's D2. So I don't know. And you're saying you got that email right from Wii, huh? That's crazy. That's interesting. So I guess we just roll the dice and guess. I don't know.
What's price point on that one?
It just says coming soon. It doesn't have a price listed up here. At least where I'm looking right at the moment. Let's see if
No,
I
they're
can...
saying it's coming in March and there's no price yet.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, not bad. I'm not there
Look,
again.
it's an auto for JB.
Now, interestingly enough, the black stonewashed one is going to be D2.
Yeah. Yeah, they did say D2
What?
on here too.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know yet.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Blade HQ, I love Blade HQ, but they are notorious for sort of guessing when they get new knives or just taking paste from one to the other.
That was kind of my remark that I said,
Yeah.
we've seen misprints, but I mean, it happens all over the place.
So what is this Civivi called? The one's on screen right now.
That one's the Keen Natter.
The Keen, of course it is.
Of course.
Okay. We're just gonna call it the KN. I don't know what else to do
Yes,
with it.
just Keen.
Okay,
Well-
you guys are talking about weird names. Anybody heard of the Civivi Perf?
Yes.
Perf?
The
Perf.
Perf. Yep. That was one that they showed on their I think Blade HQ showed it on their
That's
video.
Perf. You can find that one, JB.
Yep, I'm pulling that one up right now.
No,
There you
Not
go.
just weird, not just a weird
Perf.
name, a weird looking knife.
Yeah.
I think it's because the handle's perforated. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
that's-
There you go.
That's
Yeah, that's the perf.
okay. Well, if
Oh, it
that's
is
the case,
Nitro V.
then I have this is the
Did we-
shop Perf.
There
I
you
was
go.
gonna say, did we move into the Gerber parasail here? Or are we?
Oh, the parasail. Damn it.
Ooh, shots fired. Dang, man. It does say Nitro V though.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
what I
cool.
just said. That's good.
That is
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Nitro
I
V.
like the bow. See,
Should we
now
jump to we or are we in Civivi? Is that
I'm
a Civivi?
still in Civivi. I'm
Civivi.
going
Yeah,
on
that's a
both.
Civivi. The
That's a
Civivi perf.
Civivi?
That's a
That's
Civivi.
yep, Civivi perf.
That's a perf.
Okay, but we did talk about this, right? They are trying to elevate the Civivi brand up from budget.
Sure.
My hope is that means they're going to jump a whole bunch of really cool sand cut knives on us this year. I really like the 3 that I've got.
I like
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
got
I
one
have no
for
problem.
JB.
Uh-oh, what do we got? What do we got? Yeah, anything you guys want to talk about, just let me know. I'll bring it up.
So that's the Civivi bow, BO.
That was the bow. Okay, let's do
That was also Nitro V, and that one's coming in May.
I just
BO.
hope they get a little
That's a
bit
Brad
bigger on
Singer.
some of their folders.
This is the one. This is the one that Zach and I are probably going to be, because we have this one. It's not Damascus. Yay.
Mhm.
Okay, it's nice. It's a red and black marbled, or kind of red and gray by the picture. Marbled carbon fiber. Love it.
That's tough.
Love it. Yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
good looking. That's good looking.
And then we have, for Zach, we have the blue one.
Nice. Is that the bow that Christine was showing?
Yep, that's the bow.
Yeah.
That's the bow.
Nice.
And it's
What's
got
the
looks-
what's the handle and blade on that one lengthwise?
It is, we have overall length of 6.75, blade length of 3 inches.
Round
So you're looking at almost a 4-inch handle ish.
but
and
very
it-
light because it's not even 2 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Nitro V. So, I mean, you're looking at a pretty decent blade steel. Okay. So this is just coming soon. No price.
Right.
Civivi knife. What do you think? What do you think
I-
they're going to, what's the price tag?
I think that's going to be $90.
I'd say
Yeah.
105
Nope.
going with their other ones.
I'm thinking it's probably going to be one of the, it very well could be one of the first Civivis to breach the $100 mark. That's my guess. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Because if you looked at the pintail, love that knife, S35 VN, it's 85.
So Nitro V under, was it 2 and a little bit in weight?
Yeah.
1.94.
Yeah.
Somebody's decided to go bug out hunting.
Mm-hmm.
If that thing really is under 2 ounces with a Nitro V blade, and if it's less than $130, 100, if it's $120, it's that's $20 less than a bug out and
Yeah, that's
better steel, and wow, that's
I'll buy a lot of them.
And it is a Brad Zinker design.
Yeah.
This one is a Brad Zinker design. So
I have a
Yeah, I
very-
like that one. It's kind of like the recurve and stuff they had going on that other one. Reminds me of the Benchmade Vector they have. But you're attacking it from the price side of it.
right.
That one's good because again, it's under 7 inches.
Mhm.
Well, I guess it depends. The specs I have are a little bit different, but under 7 inches, which For me, that's good because I don't like them too big, whereas it would still fit Pete's hand, but then it would also fit mine. So
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really comfortable one.
There you go. Yeah,
that was the thing I was surprised with is, you know, some of these Civivis, you know, like this Trailblazer. From the look of it, it had that griptilian size when I looked at it, but it's, you know, get it in hand and it's a little smaller.
It's thinner too, right? I mean, or narrower.
Yeah, much thinner. And then like this Odium, you know, I love the design, fair and forged stuff, but it's like if you're holding it back here, it's not fitting for me.
Yeah, that's small beyond
That's
for me.
my
That's
size knife.
that's even actually a little small for you. We have one.
Well, yeah, it is a little bit.
So the only zinker I have is the dog tooth that they dropped on Master Out. And this is one of the few, I mean, for most people, this isn't a small knife, but for me, it really is. And this is one of the few small knives that I'll never get rid of. So if the new Civivi is similar in dimensions, I think it is pretty close. And it feels the same way in hand. That is going to be an absolute winner, particularly for people with bigger hands, because it takes something to design a small knife that works in these.
Well, it's the handle shape too. It's perfect.
Right.
Now, do you
So
think
I'm really looking forward to that.
do you think the limited, and I say this, I say limited colors because it's marble carbon fiber, blue and red. Do you think that's going to be a turnoff for some people?
I think that when these sell, and they will follow it up with an all black one, or they may, you know, or something. Right. So no, I mean, initially maybe I'm actually, if I'm going to buy a knife and if it's got carbon fiber in color, for me it's red and black.
Yeah.
Just because I want to be JB. And
who doesn't?
The beard just won't grow in enough. I keep trying.
Like I told you earlier, Brad. God, sorry, Peter. Sorry about that. The other night when I was on Ray's podcast, I was like, I turned it on, it came up, and I was like, oh my God, why did I put my face on camera? Oh, I was just like, oh no.
You know what was funny, JB? I was sitting at home and I was thinking the exact same thing.
Hey, wait a minute.
I'm sorry, I had to be the one to do it.
That's all right. That's fine. Trust me, dude. I agree with you. Wholeheartedly.
I'm kidding.
Well, I tell you what, if you guys are good, we'll close the book on Civivi, but we'll just go right around the corner and we'll start talking about maybe some Wii knives. You guys seen any of the Wiis that are coming?
Yeah, I've kind of been paying attention to the one in the upper right corner there, the Fornix. I guess.
Yep, that's one that...
another interesting name, but with the finger choil again, it just caught my eye immediately.
Oh well, we're trying to bring it up. We'll see if the.
So it's 20 CV. It's a 3.5 inch cutting surface. I haven't been able to find who the designer was yet, but I mean, just with the opening hole and the flipper, and then the shape of the handle, and the I dig that one.
Now we might be doing something here soon.
I don't know how to say this one.
Wow, all of a sudden it just bogged down on me, and it's not wanting to do anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by. We're having technical difficulties.
No kidding, man. There we go.
I'm gonna go check on your neighbors real quick.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Oh gosh.
My goodness.
I want to sit that straight.
You broke it, JB.
That's better.
Yeah. There we go. That's the, I guess, it looks like it's pretty much all stonewash.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. That's got a real Gavco vibe to it.
It really does. It really does. And JB, what else does it have going on with the blade there? Tell us what that is.
It's a harpoon. It's definitely a harpoon blade.
I was waiting for some pokey stabby.
Oh, it's definitely got some pokey stabby. It's definitely got some pokey stabby. But yeah, it looks like we got a little bit of a harpoon. And then it looks like it's got the deployment hole. I'm trying to figure out. I don't have there you go. There's a flipper tab. So you've got, there you go with your multiple, deployment methods. You do have the flipper or the thumb / potential Spidey flick, if for those of you that can do it.
That's really pretty.
Right.
Let's see
That's
here.
Really good looking.
We've got this one.
That caught my eye right away.
Then we've got the darker version.
Tactical.
What's the length on that one, JB?
It is tactical 8.28. It says here.
Mm.
Okay.
So that's a full size knife.
That's your size.
Yeah.
Three.
Is that
Although it looks-
titanium or?
It is. Yep.
It is
Titanium.
titanium.
20 CV blade.
Okay.
And
Peter, the handle's 4.8 inches.
yeah, because it's just I got blade length of 3.48. So yeah. So there you go, Peter. That's a good size knife. That's one for you.
This looks like an ham design.
Let's see what else. What else do we got here from
So there's a wee thug.
the thug? Oh, please. I'm sorry.
That
Okay,
that's
it is a tough looking little knife.
That was my
And we said
outside. That was my outside voice. I'm sorry.
We said this last time. I know that's not your blade, JB, but
I know.
that's me all over the
Oh
place.
God. Oh no.
And that is a tough looking little knife with the worst name ever.
thug.
Thug.
Well, I mean, it looks like a thug.
That's 20 CV too.
Yeah.
It looks like a thug. I mean, that's the okay. It's a pretty thug because it's got carbon fiber. Okay.
Oh,
It's little, so it's a thug blade.
Pivot though. God, that pivot. Ugh.
You don't like the pivot?
No.
It's pretty bad.
Now listen, this isn't going to go anywhere. if
Like,
we
is
all
it
decide that
inflatable?
My taste is the one that counts.
There you go. Good one, Peter. There you
That's the
go.
thing, you know, look, do you see? That's what we've always said about knives. The absolute joy is that we can all love something different.
Oh, exactly. Oh, exactly. That's totally. Yeah.
Now, if
No.
that knife was 25% bigger, I would be selling things already to get one.
Let's see what do we got. Yeah, its overall length is only 7 inches, Peter.
Yeah, it's stubby.
It's
Yeah,
tiny.
7 inches. That's
little.
stubby.
3 of those
Now-
inches are the pivot.
There are some. Adrian of Damn Design makes smaller knives that, because of the way that they're shaped, they're really hand filling. They're fantastic to use.
Yeah.
They feel tough because they're they're not fragile small. They're just compact.
Right.
This
Right.
Yeah.
looks like it's got a little bit of that CKF Satori handle thing going on.
Mhm.
The
Okay.
blade looks really durable, so I'm absolutely going to give one of these a shot, small or not, because it looks like it might fill that same space.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm never going to call it the name. People can say, "What's that called?" And I'm going to say it's a Wii.
Matthew Christensen, designer.
Okay, interesting. I don't know the name, but there's. So here's something I know that Concept and a bunch of people that are working with, not just 1 or 2 outside designers, but 10 or 12 or 15.
Right.
So I think part of our job as reviewers, I mean, we're going to need a phone book, right?
Well,
because
yeah.
it's not. It used to be, this is, for a lot, this is the Keen. Who made, right?
Oh yeah.
And so I think it's gonna be a lot harder to keep track. That's good looking.
Oh, trust me. When you said Keen, we're gonna get to this one right here,
Oh yeah.
because this one will end up in my house at some point, because that is the Esprit
Mm.
designed by Mr. Ray Laconico.
Is that a front flipper?
It is.
It appears
Because I saw thumb studs, but when
Yeah,
it's
I thought I saw
let's
some
see.
stuff there. Yeah.
Let's see here. Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
There's
Front
two.
flipper, thumb studs. So there you go. Dual.
no, that's interesting.
It
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I see
That's-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Laconico's jams. He figures out a design that works and modify. It's not the same knife. I don't want to. There's no implication. And that one's got thumb studs. But once he figures out something that works, he's like, sure, I'll design it with a drop point, or I'll design it with a Warncliffe, or I'll design it with a slightly different handle.
Right.
Yep.
Because he's smart.
Well, and see where the thug, I was like, oh no. All respect to Mr. Christensen and his knife designs. This one, I'm like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what that means?
Put it in my
though?
pocket.
JB, it means that for some reason, because of the way this works, you're going to get a thug almost immediately somehow. And I'll have to get one of these so we can trade.
There you go. There you go.
You're like, I don't want that knife. And like a month later, when we'll show up, we'll be like, thanks. I
Yeah.
have to trade with JB.
Yeah, no, this one.
I had not seen this one, and man, this is awesome.
Yeah, this is definitely. It was funny when that video came out, when Blade HQ released their it was when they released their video, I probably had at least 4 people email me or message me, dude, have you seen the new we releases? I'm like, I haven't yet. And they're like, there's a Laconico in there. They were all telling me there's a Laconico in there. So I'm like, oh, okay. So,
which is weird because you've made it really clear that you have none and you don't like his design. No, wait.
right.
Exactly
Yeah.
The
No.
exactly the opposite.
Okay.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh,
So-
that's
That's
good
the orange
looking.
You know how much I don't like them? I bought a min pin last night.
There you go. That's awesome.
Somebody-
So this is the orange peel. That's what Christine was saying.
Yeah.
This is the orange peel.
Oh, that's mine. Look at the
I'll have to
like
look at that one.
silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing complicated.
I actually like that more than the other one.
Now see,
Are you rubbing
It's-
off?
It's presents time.
like I said, I've said that, carbon fiber has grown on me over time. I never used to. Well, that's because it was peel and ply carbon fiber
Yep,
that I'd see,
yep.
you know. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think I like the carbon fiber, the look of the carbon fiber better than I like this one. Just for whatever reason. It's that marbled, I think.
Well, you're wrong. But
Yeah.
no, you're not. And this is so far what I'm seeing from and this is, I'm really enjoying this, is that they're doing just enough variety to keep it interesting for a lot of people without getting nuts. Like I haven't seen so far, at least, a whole lot of crazy ano stuff. Look, I love anodization when it's done by somebody who's interested in doing the work outside, or tiger stripe ano is pretty cool. But for a while there, we were releasing, wow, I could do that, watch me go, knives that were just sort of rainbowy, like so many different variations and colors. I was like, can we just have a knife?
Yeah.
We just do that and then let us anodize it.
Well, they definitely went to this, like a lot of this bronze carbon fiber inlet. I mean, that new Weep here that came out, which I'm waiting to get my hands on, is another one where they've definitely, I agree with you, they've toned that down. I don't know if they're going for a classier look or just sort of a, it's not, I like it. I like the aesthetic they're going with.
I think what they're doing, Brad, is doing more, because another one that caught my eye was the Screech, and they're offering that bronze. They're offering the bronze finish in that, but also a light finish as well. So
now you said the Screech.
Yeah, like from Saved by the Bell, Screech.
Is that? I'm not familiar with that one. Is that a new 2020?
Yeah. Let's see. I hate to move my camera because it always looks terrible, but I'll try.
Oh, no. I'll look it up.
No,
my God.
I'm already.
Oh yeah, that. Now
I'm already ahead of you.
How many of you know? I mean, you all know. I'm sorry, this is a stupid question. How many of you recently had in your hand the ZTO 220?
No.
That looks a lot. not close enough to be a copy or anything, but very similar blade shape, very similar sort of handle design, and I love the ZTO 220.
So yeah, I mean, you can see it's even got a closed back end on it.
Oh
and,
yeah.
I mean, it's a slick look. The only thing I'm questioning is I like a more neutral handle, so I'm not sure I like all these grooves. But
yeah, I hear you on that case.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
It's a Butch Ball design.
Of course it is. Now, the funny thing about that is that, so I had the Wii Chimera a couple of times, and I love that knife, except the handle. It's a little too complicated. I like a much more neutral handle, right? So I'll have to see with this one, but God, that design is that's classic Wii. I mean, big, looks big, chunky.
Yeah, it's, let's see, blade is 3.25. Handle length is 4.25, overall of 7.5.
Big old flipper tab.
You should get that.
Yeah.
It's a small knife.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, look at that, Brad.
Oh.
It's like, that is a big flipper tab. Yes, sir.
Apparently, I can't spell Screech or something because I can't get it to come up.
It's
big flipper tabs are like big tires on trucks. Sometimes you just got to have them to prove that you can. This is my enormous flipper.
Oh, there we go.
You know what? I'm not adverse.
There we go.
Some knives have big flippers and they're cool for it. Look at that thing. This DX2 is awesome, but the flipper's a weapon on its own.
Okay,
Yeah.
can I throw something out there?
Yes.
Like a window punch.
That really, really, really looks like a hinderer to me.
It
Oh,
kind of
interesting.
has some hinderer going on, yeah.
It definitely looks like a hinderer to me.
With this
What's the new
spark,
little
I can't-
hinderer that they just released?
half track?
No.
No.
I don't know. Everybody's. I don't hinderer enough. I mean, I have a couple of them, but
Oh, I definitely
Yeah, it
don't.
has. I see what you're going. It has a little bit of even an 0393 a little bit, especially on the flip side of that. There's a little bit of that look in the handle.
so far it's looked like a ZT, a hinderer.
I mean, that's just immediately what I saw when I brought it up, because I mean, trust me, I'm not a hinderer connoisseur at all. But I just had the XM18 on loan, and the minute I pulled this picture up, that's what I see.
Interesting. Hang on a second. Let me go get mine. He says because he's got one and he's special.
Yeah.
I think that could
All
be.
right.
I don't
Brad,
know. Sorry.
here's-
Oh, go ahead.
Here's another. No, I was just gonna say here's another version of it, and that's back to look at that stonewashed dark finish. That's
Yeah,
crazy
it's
looking.
It is. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, there's something to like there though. It's different. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just kind of. I mean, that is immediately what I thought.
No,
And like
you know
I
what?
said,
It's in the handle shape.
It's the handle, right? I think
Yeah,
it's
it's in
yeah.
the handle shape.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I didn't initially, but now that because the blades are so different,
Yeah.
it's fine.
I don't know
but-
what I don't know what it was. That's just immediately what came to mind.
They're not that different. That looks like the front end of a hinderer with a slicer grind.
Okay. Okay.
If you had an 0562, a ZT 0562 in front of you, the slicer grind, the front end of that blade looked just about the same.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this one, I have the picture I have up now. You can definitely see some hinderer looking DNA there.
Yeah, you can.
But you know what? It's gonna happen.
Well,
And
no,
I don't think it was on
course it
purpose.
is.
no,
Or
no,
because-
not saying that at all. I'm not
Right, I
saying
just want- I
that.
wanna
at
get-
No,
I
all.
wanna get-
even if it is on purpose, I mean, at some level, I mean, it's kind of. I mean, it's like, how many knives can you look at without going? It's just handsome. You
Well,
gotta. I mean,
I did a
It's
video
like
on that a
reviewers.
couple
How
of
many
months
can you
ago.
look at without saying that's just hands? Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
No.
But I mean, no, I did a video on that a couple months ago, right? This knife
Yeah.
looks like
Hot
that
stuff.
knife, and it just
Right. Yeah.
at some point they are.
Well, we talked about this a little bit last time. I mean, if companies like we and Kaiser and Concept are going to continue to produce 30 or 20 or 30 or 40 knives a year, eventually they're going to look the same.
Yeah.
They just
Oh, yeah.
are.
Yeah.
You run out of opportunity for variation.
No, I hear you. And
Ooh,
then,
that's
like
the
I
new
said, I
mini,
wasn't.
Yeah, I like
That-
that.
And I wouldn't go anywhere near as far to say homage or anything like
No.
that.
I'm
no,
not
just similar
saying that
design.
at all. I'm not
Yeah.
saying
No.
that at all.
Agree.
That was when I pulled that picture up. It was just boom. I was like, that was the first thought I had.
You know who really manages to stay unique is the designers of OTFs. I mean, this doesn't look like. Never mind.
No homogenization there.
All right.
So
what do you
that's
guys?
the mini.
Miscreant.
All right, we lost
Miscreant.
Peter now.
Yeah, that's a Zinker design, the Miscreant. I am not there again. I'm not a huge fan of the perforated handle. I don't know why. It's just I don't.
No holes in handles.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. That knife was very like the bigger version of that was crazy popular.
Yeah.
Like people went ballistic for that. They sold out quickly, and they're sort of sought after and hunted. It's interesting that rather than release the same one with maybe a handle variation, they've gone ahead and released a smaller one. But look, that's the lesson they learned. Last year was the year of tiny knives, much to the joy of everyone who isn't me. So this is just them getting on board with that and using a sort of a not battle worn, but a design people like already. Look at that.
Right.
I'm so clever.
I enjoyed last year because Peter got a bunch of knives that were too small.
It's definitely
That's true. Her collection grew like crazy.
My
'cause
collection got great.
I'm like, this is so rad. Oh, it's so tiny. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
And he gets one in the mail and he's like, hey. And I'm like, oh.
It's really
That's good. Thank you.
too bad you're never gonna see this.
Every time she opens her knife roll, I'm like, hey, I remember that. Damn it.
When it's funny how even your taste as a reviewer might change. I mean, you know, Peter, you sound pretty consistent at least, but even I mean, but you know, I tend to fluctuate. I remember Jody, when we met up at the Bass Pro Shop there, it was like we were talking about how you were sort of downsizing, I think, and I was getting more interested in the bigger blades kind of. And most of my purchases, at least in the last 4 or 5 months, have been bigger. I've just started to go back that bigger knife direction for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't have to work in the office, and so I don't mind carrying around, you know, something that looks dangerous. But I don't know. It's interesting.
And I've kind of, I don't know if I've really. I do. I fluctuate. I fluctuate on what I like to carry, you know, and it could be week to week. It could be day to day, you know. It's just, I don't know. I think I'm pretty consistent on my Damascus and carbon fiber. I'm definitely consistent on that. Otherwise, you know, I'm flexible.
I'm not huge on that square type handle though.
No, not typically. I don't care for it, but you know, and you know, I didn't think I was gonna like the banter.
No, I know. Yeah.
And that was just seriously, you two kids. I'm gonna put you in. You're gonna go in timeout. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Going into the waiting room.
Yeah, no.
He's bumping them out.
Oh, whoa.
You know,
what is that?
This is a No Limit Knives, our friend. It's out the front, but there's it's cute. I had to make a comment on it, and it's not something you can put in your video.
It's all show and disappointing on the go.
It's like you get this blade and you're like, oh, this is going to be great, right? And then you're like, oh,
California legal. Oh,
yeah.
disappointing.
It's an angry chipmunk.
Sorry, we were just off topic and
it's just very
right.
What do you?
Sometimes you don't want it to go too deep when you're cutting.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true. That's the package. That's the package OTF, right? You don't want to cut too deep in the package. Did you get that? Did you get that? Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was good.
Okay. I was trying to be nice.
Oh man.
Let's see what else. Oh, then we got the Lundquist. I know
the Black Opus.
The Eidolon.
Oh no, this
Eidolon.
Oh, okay.
I think is how you say it. Eidolon.
Oh, that's the one I was trying to figure out. Yeah, I like that one.
I do like the look of that one. Yeah. I like the instant reaction is, oh, I'm kind of digging that.
How about that pivot, Brad?
I was just gonna say I can't wait to use my lug wrench to tighten that thing up when I need to center it.
Okay. Let's. Evidently, Brad is not crazy about large pivots. I'm guessing. I'm just guessing here.
Listen, we all have our things.
I know. Dude, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that at all.
I feel like it's
not even just large. That's a little excessive.
It's good size for a small knife. It definitely is. But it looks like it's a top flipper.
It does kind of, doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not coming off in the picture real well, and I can't zoom in, but you've got this real tiny little
kind of digging that clip
fin.
Too.
Yeah.
I like that little type of clip.
I've kind of, I've liked, we has worked with Justin Lundquist quite a bit. I mean, we have the angst,
Yeah,
that little
beauty here.
Yeah, there you go. There's another one.
That's nice.
And Lundquist designs are one that I'm, kind of starting to gravitate to a little more. I really like the looks of this knife. It's really clean. It's got clean lines. Yeah.
No, honestly, all jokes aside, I actually do think that's a pretty good looking knife. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got now check this out. You've got two different versions because you have I hope I'm saying that right, Eidolon Dagger. Now this kind of reminds me of the angst because it's got that, It's pretty much got that dagger blade. It's a little different
See, and I just didn't like the angst all that much. One, because I don't like that double hilt kind of thing when it's closed up.
Right.
Two, I don't get the dagger thing. I mean, I get it. Either you like that look or you don't. Kind of.
Right.
I feel like.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I like the other version of this knife better.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm with you right there on the dagger. Dagger's okay.
Yeah.
But I definitely, that's a nice looking knife to me. It's a really nice looking knife. I think out of the ones, because we did our video before and we talked about, and then, right after we recorded, Civivi released them. And I think for me, out of the ones that we have left that we're going to be covering, I think and Civivi probably out of all of them might have the most models that I kind of gravitate towards.
Yeah. I'm just looking at that. That blade shape is very similar to this. I mean, same design or whatever, but
it's a good looking knife.
That Black Void is the opus.
Did that one say if it was a top flipper, front flipper?
I believe it does it say? It looks like it's a top flipper. It's a 20 CV again. It says manual flipper.
Can you open up one of the closed pictures?
Yeah. Whoops. And I know not everybody. Let's see if it'll.
Yeah, no. So that little nub right there at the top, I'm guessing that you draw it from here.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little. Yeah.
Like, so the flipper's actually up on top and you just roll it open.
Well, let me see if my no, hang on. Let's do this because I really want it to get it to come up. We love Peter. There's Peter's face. But yeah, my speaker, it's not going to take over. Sorry about that, guys. But I was trying to let everybody get a better look at it, but it definitely looks like a top flipper.
Maybe you can replace that pivot with a deadbolt lock.
Shush.
Or make it auto.
There you go. That is the big button.
I'd much rather have it be an auto than have a deadbolt lock on it. I didn't. That was my outside voice again. Doggone it. Sorry. We like what we like, right? And we don't like what we don't like. It's just the nature.
Just because we don't like it doesn't mean it's not a good knife.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I hadn't seen all these yet, and Russell was telling me that he was just completely blown away with the amount of knives that and how good they were.
Yeah.
That we and Civivi were releasing, and I hadn't seen them yet, so I was like, "Yeah, come on, it's good." Oh no, he's not wrong. They've really decided to just.
They stepped it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just as total numbers and just total number of models. I think we and Civivi have got it for me. I mean, there's other models that I like from different companies, of course, but just to sheer numbers.
We haven't seen a catalog from Kaiser yet, have we? I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen
Not that I have, no.
And I know that Concept has got a ton of stuff in the works, but I haven't seen any of their future releases yet either. But they're not really yet. I know that Concepts, they're not really doing a first of the year drop. They're just continuing to drop knife after, you know what I mean?
Right.
They're not. Right. They didn't slow down towards the end of the year, and I imagine they're not going to slow down now. But they're not really doing a catalog.
I haven't seen one. I haven't seen anything from them.
Can we talk about the banter?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why is that knife so popular?
It just works, man.
Yeah, that's
I
me.
love mine.
I just looking at it, I was like, oh man, I don't know how it's just a kind of square, blocky, and I got it in hand, and I'm like, wow, that just feels really good.
Yeah, Peter, them's fighting words, Peter. I don't have mine right now.
No, nobody's.
I don't have mine.
I didn't ask why. I didn't say. I legitimately asked why it's so popular because
personally, I'm just going to put it out. I mean, I think I liked mine too. I thought it was a good knife. I gifted mine to Ray over actually at Everyday Carry, but City Carry. But I don't think you can underestimate the fact that people just really like Ben.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, I don't say that in any sort of pejorative way at all because I like Ben and I think I don't know him all, but I think it plays into the story of that knife a little bit. But I do believe, having owned it and fiddled with it, it's a good knife. I mean, it's a good knife. It didn't do it for me from a interest standpoint necessarily, but I didn't find anything wrong with it at all. Actually.
It's just a good basic carry. For me, I love a thumb stud knife, and it just flies out there. It's very neutral in the hand. You can grip it really well. It fits my hand well.
And you know what?
And that's the funny thing is I sent mine to Kyle at DTOM Knives and Gear, and Peter, you and Kyle should form like a fraternity, because Kyle likes big, I mean, bigger knives than you like. But he's already told me he's digging it, and he's like front flipping the thing. So I can't wait to see his video. So, but anyway, go ahead.
Well, no, I think that's right. I think the other piece to it, at least was my sort of impression, was you got S35VN, you got really, really well put together, kind of WE doing its thing, nice tolerances, the whole bit for $108. I mean, and to me, that was one of the best deals on knives last year in terms of what you got for $100. I mean, it was for a WE branded knife. That's just,
which is 100% why I asked. We had one here for review, and I passed on it. I don't think I even touched it.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't, my taste. You mentioned earlier, it's funny that we tend to get knives for the channel that we want to review because people. I'm still just a collector that happens to have a channel.
Yeah. No, I know.
But if I do trust the voices here very much, and so if another one has the opportunity to pass through this house, I'll absolutely review it and give it a legitimate shot. And it's kind of what I was getting at. I don't know. I don't understand why it's so popular, but maybe that's because I haven't had a chance to hold one yet.
What's your thoughts on it, Zach? I know you're a fan of the banter.
Yeah, and Peter, I'll send one down to you. I know I'm sending a package to you, so I'll put one in there so you can check it out. One of the things for me, I was thinking it was a lot of hype as well. SHOT Show 2020 year ago, they had the prototype there, and of course it's in blue, so it kind of visually attracts me. But just picking it up, getting it in hand, it's like it rockets out. It's a great sized everyday carry knife, and for me, I like carrying it. And now I will say this, it's got that kind of blocky look and that taller blade, kind of stubby look to it. So I think that's why visually a lot of people don't like it. I think if they got their way and finally made it either in the US or, when the international patent expires, put an axis lock on it, it's not going to be a knife that, they can keep in stock.
Okay.
See, now, interestingly enough, for me,
Great.
I felt with the stocky handle and the blocky blade, I kind of like that because it almost to me felt, like you said, I mean, it fires out. That is so smooth. But for me, I felt like it was the chubbiness of it made it feel like a bigger knife in a smaller size, if that makes sense.
I just go back. I go back to the $100. I mean, I would personally, and not to, I know I liked my bug out too, but I think if I had to choose again between a bug out and a banter, I probably would go with the banter, just because you're getting S35VN, you're getting an action that's really good. You're not worrying about, whatever axis lock foibles there may be out there. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a really interesting alternative to the bug out.
That's absolutely fair. That's why I asked. Thanks, guys.
And Zach, you touched on it, the blocky look to it. That's something that was completely my first impression, was the blocky look. And I'm just like, I don't really, I just from experience, I'm like, I don't really care for knives that look like that because I don't like the way they feel. And it does not feel in hand like I thought it looked. That's the best way I can put it for me.
Yep.
I got it in hand and I was like, oh man, come on. Is this another knife I got to buy? I mean, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. I told
exactly
JB, my story was I went to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and because of the hype, I deliberately went to the WE counter to hold it and hate it because I didn't like the way it looked. As soon as I got it in hand, I said the same thing. Oh man, I'm buying this. I'm not leaving here without this knife because it just felt so good to me.
Maybe they'll make a Banter XL.
There you go.
People ask Ben about that all the time.
I bet.
Yep.
I bet. Well, but that's, you know, you don't know unless you ask. So I appreciate the input big time. Like I said, if I get Zach, if you get an opportunity, you want to shoot one this way, I'll be happy to review it with
definitely.
You know,
very cool. Wheeling and dealing here, guys. That's what we're doing. Wheeling and dealing. All right. Well, I don't know if I think we pretty much got kind of the big ticket items from Weave. So how about we keep right on moving and let's talk Spyderco. Why not? You know, let's talk Spyderco. I'm gonna let somebody else go first because
I feel like this could be a pretty brief conversation.
Yeah, it's going to be really brief
because it's, hey, look at all the same knives in different colors.
Yep. That's pretty much. That's kind of the only one, and I will bring this one up. Where is it at? I'm sorry if I'm making people seasick by scrolling.
Well, no, there's that little fixed blade you just went by.
That was interesting.
We'll go. Okay, I'll go back to it, but check that out.
No.
What is that?
You check that out.
No, I'm not.
That's the
no, I won't.
Veil Phoenix.
It's the Veil Phoenix.
I can't even.
Did you say veal?
Veil. Viele. Veal.
Look you went to enlarge a Spyderco picture and you even got an alert.
JB, there's a red sprint run of those.
Yeah, no.
Is there a picture of that closed?
Let's see. Let's find out.
Oh,
I'm trying to imagine what.
No, not here. I don't have.
I've got one.
Do you?
I've got the red one for you here. If I can get my camera over here. Sorry for the clunky. There you go, Christine.
You can see it.
So
weird.
I'd like to applaud Spyderco for trying something different. I don't like that either, but that's okay.
It's VG10. It's VG10. Yay, VG10. I'll say that. Yay, VG10. Yay. Yay.
Is there a timeout room? I can't remember. Did we decide?
Hey.
10 second mute. 10 second mute.
10 second mute.
And no, and I can't. I mean, there again, all due respect. I hope I say that right, but Vail, maybe. Howard Vail is a designer.
And I'm sure he designs super beautiful and interesting things.
It's just not my taste.
This knife that people that have wanted one of his customs or whatever that.
There you go. Exactly.
It's it kind of reminds me of like this. What was it? The Shemp buoy or whatever. It's sort of that. You either really like that's whatever that is that they're trying to put out there, or
you don't,
or you do not.
Well, it's like Brad. You have the knives that you have. Great, I can do those.
This is my little Spyderco collection here.
Oh man, that's a table full of Spyderco awesomeness.
I love those. The one Jody's got up.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Well, and you know, kind of going back with Brad and his giant pivot, that ball bearing locks, that just looks huge on there.
Okay,
I don't know.
It's just it's got a pistol grip. It's got a weird. Oh yeah.
What's the third one down? Can you show, Casey? Can you show the third one down? The handle.
On my knife?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the Mike Draper folder. So this is a very old Spyderco design.
Yeah, that's nice.
But it's definitely. And guess what, JB? What kind of steel is it?
Is it VG10?
Yeah, it is VG10.
Sweet.
And but yeah, it's super cool looking knife. This is a special one. If I did the video like JB did of the knives that won't ever leave my collection, this is one. I was at a same job for 26 years, and a bunch of people that I worked with went together and bought this for me. So,
what's the inlay on that?
Say that again.
What is the inlay? The blue.
I can't remember right off the top of my head. But it feels like skateboard tape. I mean, it's definitely titanium on the handle, and then it was like some sort of plastic, I think, inlay, if I remember correctly. But it feels very much sort of like a grippy skateboard tape kind of feel.
Flat out evidence that Spyderco can do super weird when they want to and make it work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, without a question. I'm looking for. You guys said a fixed blade, and I'm not.
Scroll up a little bit. It's got a finger hole through it. You've seen. I'm fairly sure it's a fixed blade.
Maybe it's back on the other page.
Yeah.
It must be on page 2. All right. Well, we'll get to page 2. That one?
There it is.
Is that one? Oh, it is. Okay. My bad. My apologies. There you go.
Big
That's the
karambit
karambit thing.
Karambit cliff.
It's a
karambit
cliff.
cliff. Thank you for
It's
now
a
that's stuck in my head.
No, I'm not even going to try. Carix blade?
It's a Carix blade.
Yeah, it's no, I mean, yeah, okay. All right, I guess we're done with the
Spyderco.
Okay, we'll move along. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, it got nothing.
I want to try their auto. I want to try the auto.
Brad, what's that one in your hand right now?
The Spy Opera.
Wood, right?
Yeah, that's the Spy Opera.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's really nice.
Your mic has gone wonky.
Yeah, your audio dropped.
As in
Uh-oh.
Brad's did.
As in Brad's did, yes.
You sound like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Now, is that a full serrated auto? Is that what I'm seeing there? Or is that a
Yes,
fixed one?
that is a full serrated. That is the autonomy.
I just want to try the autonomy. I've never had a Spyderco fixed blade, and I like the way the autonomy looks. I would very much like to try not the full serrated version, but just
that was just the one that popped up. Let me see.
Yeah,
I think that one's back on the other page. We'll go find it.
God, look at me just making JB work. I'm sorry.
That's what we're here for, bro. That's what we're here for. There we go. There you go.
Getting sick. All the back and forth.
Yeah, I'd very much like to try one of those. I've really in the last
actually nice.
I guess in the last 3 or 4 months, I kind of got to a place where I fell back in love with autos. I picked up an LVDT. I've got the out the front that I finally found out the front that I like, and so I'd very much like to. I think that's going to be a direction I go. Is just trying to find all the autos that I can and give.
Now, look at that deployment button. See how it's bowled out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that just seems a little odd to me. That seems a little odd.
Is that a safety beneath it?
It sure looks like it.
Well, if you're going to make the deploy button enormous and easy to touch, you then have to put a safety on it. Or else it will accidentally fire them off.
Hey, Brad, there's your pivot.
Yeah, buddy.
Look at that pivot. Good. Get some, Brad. Get some. I know you want to. I
feel like I've used up my pivot complaining for the day.
Okay. No. Cool enough. And that's just it, guys. We're not here to bash knives. That's not what we're here to do. We're just talking about what we're seeing. Brad, maybe a little bit.
Can you flip that again, JB? So on this side we've got just a standard screw. On the other side we've got the giant.
It does seem a little odd. I was looking at that too. You've just got your standard, but then on the opposite, on the clip side, you've got the really big.
Actually, I know why they did that. It's because in order to support, in order to support the action of the auto, there has to be a fairly good size, hefty pivot, but there's no room on the other side because where the button is.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Good call.
It comes all the way through the other side. That makes sense. I get it.
And it looks like LC200N on that one. I believe
it does.
so.
And that's LC200N is a fan. I love my Spidey chef. Oh
almost 8.5 fully open, Peter. There you go. Good size knife. 3.5-inch blade. So you're looking at nearly a 5-inch handle.
I have to figure out a way to bring one of those home.
Yeah.
How much does that price say?
$245.
Yeah, I have to figure out a different way to bring one of those home.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
By the way, Christine, if you want to check out that Spy Opera, I'll shoot it your way.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, you guys, if we ever have anything you guys want to check out, I mean, reach out to me, let me know.
Yeah, sure. Likewise. Yeah, likewise. I know Casey and I were just having that conversation this morning.
Yes, absolutely.
I'd ask Casey for that beautiful blue one, but he might not get it back.
Well, that's always the risk of swapping that.
Dang, man, it just got lost.
What happened? Yeah, I don't know where it's at. What do you mean?
She takes down all of her Instagram photos and disappears off social media. This is mine.
With that in mind, goodbye.
I was so close.
So what is?
I don't know what knife you're talking about.
What is that, JB?
That is here we go. I know I'm gonna. It's either the Patadis or Patadesi.
Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't know how to pronounce
Pattadese. So now this is probably one of the only ones that kind of did catch my eye. I kind of like the looks of that. It's only got one picture, so I can't, this is what we got right at the moment, but let's see if I can.
Now, do you have the length on that one?
It is, where'd it go? It is 7.22 with a 3.16 inch blade.
Like G10 liner lock?
G10 liner lock, I believe so, yeah. Yep, liner lock. Thumb hole deployment, Spyderco, of course. 4-inch handle, Bowler M390 blade steel. I kind of like the looks of that. What do you guys think?
It's all right.
I think Peter needs to get one so I can review it.
Why don't you get one and then I can review it?
The only thing I'm seeing on it is look where the axis for the liner lock is.
Yeah.
Low.
Way low. Way
It's
low.
usually where they put backlog. I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's funny, that right?
That definitely needs to come with a finger cuts kit.
I'm thinking it might. I don't. Well, who knows? But it just that seems really odd to me for a liner lock for it to be that low. Because you're definitely. I mean, you're way more in the cutting path. Holy cow!
I don't know why they did that blade termination the way or the grind termination the way they did there. It's a little sharpening that.
You talking about right in here? Right in the.
Yes.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like there's much of a choil or anything, but I mean, your plunge is pretty. I mean, it looks pretty almost straight up and down.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at. I mean, but then again, you look at a PM2 and stuff. I mean, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it doesn't appear to be a choil there, which, what I guess. I would probably need one.
Yeah.
My sharpening skills, I would definitely need one.
Hey, all your sharpening skills are probably better than mine.
Seeing on that one, I would stick with I have the Kapara.
Yeah.
And that, one of my favorites. And I would stick with this over that one.
Would you? Yeah. Oh, trust me, I don't think.
Because I'm looking at it right here going, do I want to push in a liner lock like right here on it?
Oh. No, I wouldn't. I agree with you.
It's a pretty long blade for it.
Yeah,
exactly. Kind of makes you wonder too if your fingers might unlock it inadvertently, just holding it the way that's opened up like that.
It's a little odd.
We all just had to come play Spyderco.
Yeah. I got mine.
I put one of the Flytanium titanium backspacers on my.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
And that's about it. And of course, deep carry clip. But this is such a good knife. This is the Blade HQ exclusive in S90V.
Okay.
And I know that if Metal Complex watches this, he's been wanting an S90V blade, and you can't have mine.
There you go.
Now, which one's that one?
What?
The model of yours there, Peter?
Oh, it's the Shaman.
The Shaman. Okay.
Yeah, it's the S90V version.
Okay.
So my hope for Spyderco, I mean, I made fun of them for releasing different colors, really, and that's really what they've done. They've got some new stuff, but for the most part, it's. But here's the thing: they have learned very powerfully that they can sell small batch to individual shops and small knife companies, small knife retailers, as basically sprint runs or exclusives. But I hope what they've really learned is that people want these knives, period. So. Instead of the Shaman coming out 3 times a year in batches of 150 or 200 for St. Nick or whatever, just sell them.
Yeah.
Well,
I get it.
What I think is interesting, Peter, is they've got on their website, when you go look at the 21 releases, they have a pair, a PM2 in brown micarta and crew wear that's theirs. So it's not somebody else setting up a goofy sprint run. It's not, so you would think, and by the way, it's brown micarta, JB, but you would think if they're going to do it and it's theirs, they're going to make it in a higher volume, but I don't know that. But you
I
would
hope
think
so.
so.
I learned last year, I was not a Spyderco guy. I never wanted one. I didn't understand them. I didn't get it. I had the Mannix, and then I got the Mannix 2. I got the Mannix 2 and then the XL and a couple of knives. And then slowly I suddenly realized I think I have 16 Spydercos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, they're the best. They're the knife I recommend absolutely most when somebody wants just a knife that's going to work.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I mean, without
And
a
then-
doubt.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years, they've become the knife that you should get because they just work that you can't find.
Yeah.
Because they've
yeah.
been spending all of their energy and time producing specialty sprint runs for various.
Right.
Just sell us knives. We want them.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I didn't like them until we got to know Brian.
Right, that's true.
So we're in a knife club.
Yeah.
Called Baca, which was, really back way in the day, but that's where we met Sean Hassan and Brian Lai. And that's where I got my first Spyderco in hand. And that was it. I was done. I'm like, okay, I like it. But, to be fair, again, like Peter says, there's so many that you could have the same blade shape, but you have different handles. But some of them that aren't, I was going to use a designer's name that I thought was kind of over the top, but we'll just say that some of them aren't that aren't too ridiculous. I mean, I fell in love with, but I like them simpler.
Yeah, but for instance, she says simpler, right? But the one in her hand is the M390 version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a Delica and M390.
Right.
Make
Right.
these knives for us. Stop selling
Yes.
me Delicas and VG10. Sorry, JB. Sell me. The market exists. We're here.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
tens of thousands of us that have
Yeah.
learned that we want better. The market between the internet and Instagram and Facebook and all these channels, even your most average knife user now knows that there's something better than VG10, ACR 13 MOV, whatever. There's better stuff. And I wish that Spyderco would just go, okay, and make those knives, because
Yeah.
I think they would sell them hand over fist.
Oh yeah.
I know I'd have more.
Yeah. Well, and
But
that's
that's
just
just
it.
me.
I mean, Spyderco sells everything they put out. They do.
Yeah.
No matter how many, what design, they sell because people want them. And like you said, if you let's tone down. I mean, this is from somebody that doesn't do the sprint run chase and all that other stuff, and there's people out there that's what they wait for.
Oops.
They wait for that sprint run. Have I done it? Have I done it? Yes, I have. Because that's the only way I can get a red Spyderco.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted a red Spyderco. So now I got to fight 40,000 people for 200 of them.
Yeah, and the game that's played, I'm just going to finish my complaint run. It goes this way. The problem with sprint runs is that if you miss the initial drop, you're good, and you still want one. Now it costs $150 more on the secondary market.
Right.
And or if you're going to do, how about this? If you're going to do sprint runs, make it literally you can buy one,
Yeah.
maybe two.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my complaint. I love Spyderco. I've fallen in love with their designs, all of their variation, all of their cool weirdness. I just would love it if they would decide they're going to straight head-on compete with the other, with the Wies and the Riots and even
Right.
Benchmade produces a ton of their knives when they produce knives. Make us the knives we want, and I'd buy them. And I know a lot of people that would too. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
So the question, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go.
Oh, I was just going to say, the question that comes into my mind is, do they have the capacity to put them all out at once like that and keep their variants up, or are they doing it as marketing?
I honestly,
Keep
man,
that-
that's a fantastic question. I don't know.
Keep that want and desire there, so everybody's chasing it and wanting
That's
it.
a smart way to go too, right?
Could
Well,
be.
I mean, JB's 2 cents worth. It's marketing. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's that would be. And trust me, Spyderco does Spyderco perfectly. I mean, let's face it. They do it perfectly because they're gonna sell. Nobody's gonna stop. So you can't fault them for it because they do what works.
Yeah, no question, man. I guess as a knife user and just collector, let's be honest. I have knives that I use every day, and then I've got 250 other ones. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But it's, I guess I'm with JB. I don't sprint chase.
No,
I don't.
So I feel like I'm always a little bummed out because I'm like, that's so never mind, because I'm never going to get one.
yeah.
Well, and to go along with that, right? And the reason I bring this out, this Caribbean, right, or Caribbean, whatever. I sold it, right, and was like, I don't. Yeah, how often do I carry it? Etc. Then I really wanted it back, and I couldn't. It took forever. It literally took me like 2 years,
Right,
to be able to get one back, because either they came out in these tiny little batches, or they just never came back out. I mean, that's frustrating, I think, because it's like you have to be worried that if you ever part with some of these more niche Spydercos, you're just never going to get a chance to get one again, at least new. But
and I'll bet those scales would take black dye really well.
yeah.
Sorry, can't help myself.
So we've been kind of, I don't want to say Spyderco bashing. I mean, we've been voicing our opinions, but I'll give a quick shout out to Spyderco on this little guy right here. It's the little native slip joint.
Yeah.
They're doing something for our UK brethren,
Yep.
and sisters that collect knives, and it's going to be UK legal. And not that they don't already. I mean, they've done it in the past and stuff, but they're giving the UK legal folk another knife to choose from, and I think that's good. I think that's definitely good.
Did I see a bunch of new roadies?
Yeah. I think
I love that little knife.
I do too.
I can use another roadie or two.
I may have a little blue one of those.
I might have a red one. I might have a red one.
I think I have
a gray one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I have two of them.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's a good little slip joint. I like it.
I think it's a cool knife, man.
Yeah.
I would,
I have one of those. One of mine's permanently in my purse pocket. I love that little thing.
Yeah.
And that's you said we were kind of bashing. I wanted to be clear. Every Spyderco that I have, I love.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course.
No,
I wouldn't have it. Wouldn't have it if I didn't.
I think
Peter, what you said earlier resonated with me, because I was one of those people who, when I started in this hobby more earnestly, Spyderco was not the brand I went to. I did not. It wasn't the brand that spoke to me. It wasn't. And now they are the dominant brand in my collection. Pure and simple. And
honestly, I think I have more Spydercos than I have any other knife.
Right.
Yeah. To be fair, the knife club that we were in, one of the nights that we went, the first night that we went was a Strider night. And that was interesting. And then be nice. And then the second time or third time we went, they had a Spyderco night. And it was, all the Spydercos. And that was the night that we met Brian, and he brought out his Spydercos. So between that and all the other Spydercos we had seen there, that was pretty cool.
They're hard not to fall. By the way, that thing you have up on the screen there, JB, I want one of those really badly, just because I want one. I have it's not going to replace my PM2, but God, that's good looking.
See, now I did not bring that up for my enjoyment at all. It was for you, for those of you that like Tantos, because this one's getting a lot of talk. It's getting a lot of talk.
The thing is, just like that though, that went in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
The satin blade stayed for about 30 minutes, but the black blade was gone immediately.
Do they have other Tantos? Is that the only one?
Because it's the wrong color, or what?
It's a great question, Peter. The PM2 is about the only one I know that they've done a Tanto in.
That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
I think that's why people have gone so crazy for it. It really is. It's not a new idea in knife world, but it's radically different for Spyderco.
Oh yeah.
And
sure.
It's definitely a collector niche more than a user niche. It's just collectors wanting one.
I think that's really so. What is it I love so much about Spyderco? Is the truth is that this leaf-shaped blade, which is on just about everything they make, is without question the most useful blade shape in history.
Bar none.
All the belly, it's plenty stabby. It's slicey because it's tall. So does the Tanto? I want one because I want to try it.
Yeah. No, I hear you. like I said, I did not bring it up for my enjoyment, but no, it has. It's been getting a lot of talk, and somebody, as a matter of fact, somebody just asked me yesterday or the day before, "Hey man, are you going to try to find one?" Nope.
Nope.
I mean, and nothing there again. Nothing against Spyderco, just not my thing. And I was talking about getting a red knife. Could I get that knife and dye it red? Yep, I sure could. Could I buy aftermarket scales? Yep, I sure could. And writ dyeing.
Not gonna.
No, I'm not. You're right. I'm not.
Right. That's okay.
I mean, I'm being honest. No, I'm not.
Because I get to carry my knives most of the time, look, I use them at work, cutting up boxes and tape. Same thing I always say, what I say in my review is the truth. I cut stuff on a fairly regular basis, but I'm not doing enough rope cutting or heavy cutting. The blade variation really makes that much difference to me as long as it's sharp. And so I think I enjoy Tantos because I'm not really, I'm not doing a lot of kitchen time work. I'm not doing a lot of cutting board work. And so I can effectively use them because they open cardboard just as well as anything else. Right?
Yeah.
JB, you use your knives. Your job requires that you do serious cutting.
Correct.
And because of that kind of a blade isn't going to work for you as well as this would.
I've tried. No, it could be me. I could be the dumb one. I'll admit it. But
I doubt that very much, but already.
But Tanto is just, I don't know. Maybe it's a comfort level too, because it's a blade. It's got an edge. It's going to cut, right? Right.
My Tanto would like to speak with you privately.
Okay.
Now, there are plenty of them on the secondary market today if you want to check them out. I did see, though, that they made a Spyderco Varango in a Tonto blade.
All
interesting.
Right. And it's kind of like...
Can you spell that for me, Zach?
Varango.
That's a recurve Tanto, too.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to congratulate you. This is your first Zach attack on one of our Zoom chats. That was awesome, dude.
Hey, yeah, thanks.
That was rad.
Okay, now I gotta look. I gotta try to bring.
But see, that's again, Spyderco has just a history of making knives that when you first look at them, you go, "What?" And then you use the thing, which is why when you guys all had the same response to the banter, I'm like, okay, I'll totally give it a shot because maybe it's the same deal.
Ooh.
Oh, there it is.
It is so ugly and kind of cool looking.
Ooh.
Ooh. Out of stock. That is $370.
No,
it's not.
Looking at it's free.
Yep.
Well, no, I mean looking at it's free, yeah, but holy.
Wow. And
yeah, Peter, that's one of those things, Peter, where I, being a huge Benchmade collector and fan, when I first saw Spydercos, I was like, I saw people carrying them at work and other stuff, and I'm like, what is that weird, funky shaped knife you're carrying? Like, how does it, and then I used a couple of them, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it works really, really well. And then now I find myself with 10 of them, and I'm like, how did I get 10 Spydercos?
So I had all this titanium and fancy stuff, right? My knife collection basically jumped straight from Kershaw to Kaiser level stuff. I really did leap. And I skipped Spyderco. And I never had this, not enough, there's too much, not enough blade, too much handle, this, that, and the other. And then I got a bunch of them, and I finally got my first PM2. And I just realized one day that it had been in my pocket for 2.5 weeks, and all I could say was, damn it.
Right.
There's just, that's just the way they are.
Just to break the mold, I guess it was about 5 or 6 years ago, I had a few knives, but it was the G10 Manix 2 and the Ambitious that started my downhill spiral in knife collecting. So I'm the backwards of you guys. I didn't really have a lot of knives before that. And by the way, I have 2 Manix 2s, and it's pretty much my go-to knife. It just is. So I'll probably end up with 2 or 3 different variations of that one as time goes by.
All right.
And I've liked those Manix 2s myself.
Yeah.
I think they're probably some of the best slicers out there.
Yeah, and that means a lot coming from an access lock guy like Zach. I mean, I just think I don't know why Zach Zach, I don't know why they don't make more ball bearing locks, because I think they actually did this really well.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
for them to not do more of these really has surprised me.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I found, in talking with several people, including Les, was how much they worked together back in the day. Between Benchmade and Spyderco.
Yeah, I mean they're two of the most trusted and oldest and best names in the business.
Oh yeah, without
and those two guys are there. Honestly, if you look back at the original Spyderco police and military, there wouldn't really be. I mean, I don't know if there'd be collector's knives without Spyderco and Benchmade. I really don't.
Right.
They're the ones that went, sure, yeah, okay, well, this is the knife we make. This is the basic model, and it's really cool. Let's do this fancier thing. Let's do this next extra thing. And people were like, oh, wow, that's so I can have this plus that. And you go back 20 years, and it started to really shift the way the market worked. Everybody, up until then, it was, everybody's got a $110 and everybody's happy.
Yeah, and they started making those small runs of like 25 or 50 of those, different variants with the higher end materials and everything else. And people were like, okay. And then now, could you imagine if they did a 25 run today?
Oh, people would revolt. The Spyderco, for lack of a better term, the Spyderco fanboys, the people that love their Spydercos, there'd be like a caravan headed to Colorado, I think.
Yeah, right.
I do.
We would like to speak with the owner, please.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, how about, if that's good, we'll close the door on Spyderco.
Never.
I'm gonna bring up Gerber.
That door was open surprisingly long.
Yeah, right.
That's all right.
No, I'm not in a bad way. I'm just saying that was.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
When we go there, we can just look at that.
I'm gonna bring out Gerber, and I'm gonna open the floor. I'm gonna open the floor to Zach.
And go.
Okay, so I have this sitting here, and I will say this. I was super excited to get this one. This is Sejulo. It's got that like bug out Griptilian combo going. But the finishing is my problem. So it's USA made. I do like this one. But yeah, it's the finishing stuff that got me.
Well, so, and like you've said several times, they're putting it out there this is a custom knife, and it's not custom finished.
Is that coming out of their custom shop?
I'm sorry?
Is that coming out of their custom shop?
Yeah, so I actually went the extra and ordered this one from their custom shop because they don't sell this one in the regular stock colors. And I was like, oh, because I have a gray Griptilian with black blade. And I'm like, what a fantastic way to compare the two. And, I got it and there was just those things wrong. And it's like over 5 weeks before I got a response. And the response was basically like, fill out a warranty claim. And I'm like, okay. So I'm going to, pay to ship it back somewhere that I could drive to in like 15 minutes and wait for my knife forever. So, but I like the way it's done. It's got the same axis bar stick that most do. Yeah. So they didn't cure that, but yeah, I think they got something going. I mean,
it's cool
very
looking.
Familiar looking knife.
I sort of feel like you should have driven over to their building with one of your Zach Stuff business cards. But hi, maybe we haven't met yet. You're gonna want to fix this.
Well, and the really cool part was, I'll say this: everyone I talked to on the phone and the people on their their marketing social media team were great, but they're not the ones making any decisions on how to fix it.
Right.
And so I think they just need to kind of grease those wheels and get that path open on how to fix those things. And I think it's great because I know several people that purchase this and theirs is great. It's fine.
Nick Shabazz did a really interesting bit about Gerber a couple years ago or last year with the fastball. He went to Gerber.
Yep.
And he was pretty clear that he could tell that there was a movement within the company to fix things. I'm just going to put it that way, to fix things. But here's the problem. That kind of change takes time to filter down to all of to everything. And so they clearly have an eye on making better knives. They have an eye on better marketing. They have an eye on lots of things, but there's probably still a sea change happening with the corporate culture.
Yeah.
That hasn't reached all the corners yet.
Well, and and they're a sub company of their parent company, Fiskars.
Is it Fisker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one of the
Good
things that I
access.
found was interesting was, they sent Nick a Sejulo, right? Similar finishing problems on his, and him and I talked about it, and it's like, and he even mentioned in his video, and he's just like, man, those are some of the things that just need to be fixed before it gets sent out.
Oh God, without question. My goodness.
What's I forgot my question. Never mind.
Well, I've got a bunch of them pulled up. I mean, you got the Sejulo. I like the look of the Sejulo. The highbrow. I like the look of the highbrow. But I'll be perfectly honest with you. After seeing what Zach went through with that knife, I am now, could be one knife. It could be one knife, Okay, two knives, because Nick Chavez was the same way. I'm really hesitant about even trying.
So you guys are the same age I am. Most of you were within range. You've watched the American car company struggle. And this, I think, is an example of that. It's okay to want to make the new high-end, super technological, kick-ass cars like are coming from everywhere else. But if the actual production line hasn't been improved enough to produce the cars at the same quality, then you're going to get things that look really cool but don't work very well.
Yeah.
And I feel like the design aesthetic in the new Gerber is fantastic. I think that the art behind it, the people, like, that's cool looking. Come on.
I do. I like the look of that. I really like the look of that.
But there's an end product problem.
Yeah.
And that's that they haven't upgraded their stuff, whatever that needs to be, to produce knives that are as good as they look.
That's the
and I
sumo.
want them.
That's a sumo, by the way.
Yeah, that's cool looking, man.
I
really want to
love
see that.
I love the look of that knife. I'd be like, dang, man, I really want. And it's going to come down to where you're just going to have to. You're just going to have to get one in hand and check it out. But it's just, I'm.
But
really
and it's
hesitant.
well, and it's funny. So I mean, I don't have that big a channel, but one of my bigger videos, ironically, interestingly enough, was the Gerber quadrant that I did. And the reason I thought the quadrant was interesting was it looked a little different. It's got that interesting different looking blade. It had the bamboo, inlay, or one of the scales was bamboo or whatever. That could have been the steel was, I don't even remember what it was made out of, but it's one of those where it could have been a really cool hit for Gerber, but it was just underdone. Like always, they took a cool design with some good aesthetics and some decent, fit and finish, but just the action was awful. It was awful, and I couldn't take it apart. And again, it goes back to what we've been talking about. It's like they get right to the cusp with a lot of these and just, ugh.
Well, and that's. Oh, sorry about that, Brad.
No. I rant over.
That's the other thing. I love the look of that knife. The price, on Gerber's website, it's $42. So probably, right. What are we talking? Maybe $35 in the store ish.
Yeah.
In that range.
Yep.
7 CR17 steel on it.
Yeah.
Not a steel snob. I swear to God, I'm not.
No.
Okay, I am.
But here's the other thing about Gerber, though, is, are they still in those markets to, blister pack them?
Yeah.
And, make 10,000 of them and get them out there.
No, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
They're a Big Five or Dick's Sporting Goods or
oh, totally.
A grocery store, whatever, right? Walmart.
Totally.
And that's awesome. And it's just, I wish that maybe instead of 10,000, they'd make 8,000 and slow down just a little bit.
The thing is, it's just not hard. I don't get why it's hard. This Tangram knife, which I still don't understand why Kaiser just sort of cut the cord on that line. But this is a $25 knife in that Japanese Akudo or whatever it was. This is a great budget knife. I mean, this is a phenomenal little budget knife, and it, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't, that quadrant doesn't compare, you know, and at $10 more, I mean, it doesn't. So I don't understand why they can't make it work, especially if they can make scissors that are pretty darn good. I mean, the parent company, I don't know why they can't manage to.
And the Gerber multi-tools are very good.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
You know what I
They
mean?
have
Like,
the ability.
I think we landed here. I forget who we were talking about last time, but we kind of got off on this again. I want to the people watching at this point, I would like to say that what you're hearing from us is not a dislike of the company.
No.
It's disappointment. Now, again, we're all about the same age. There was a time when Gerber were the knives. If you didn't have an expensive buck 110, you likely had a SOG or a Gerber.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's before Kershaw became the ever-present massive thing that it is at Big Five. When I was camping with my dad when I was 7 or 8 years old, if I wanted a knife, it was likely a Gerber.
Yep.
And so I have great love for the name.
Oh yeah.
I would be one of their most passionate adherents. I would be promoting them to the woods if they just turn this corner a little bit. If people that I trust weren't going, this is okay, but it's the but that gets me every time, because I have a budget like everybody else. I can't.
And that was the biggest thing for me was I was excited the minute I saw the marketing come out on that and the emails and Sejulo. I was like, man, this is great. They're taking the time to make a reserve line. You know, they're making the stuff here in the US, local. Like, it was a no-brainer for me. I'm like, that's something that I'm going to, you know, use some of my budget for the month, you know, to get for the channel, get a review on it. And, you know, I wanted to be that cheerleader to go, yeah, look at, they made that corner. We're here in the US. They're putting out something that's going to be less than a bug out, you know, really, really comparable with the Griptilians. And, you know, let's shout it from the rooftops.
I'm right there next to you, brother. I really am. I would love nothing more, because, you know, I've been a big promoter of the new SOG stuff. It's not inexpensive. It's a wrestling match with them to keep their the SOG, keep their prices to a point where most people can afford them, and also show that they're producing these new really cool things that are really well made. But I would love to be able to be that same, like you said, cheerleader for Gerber. It made me super happy.
Oh yeah,
I think, I'd be like, check this out. This is so rad.
I mean, I think we're all rooting for him. I mean,
I think we are. I mean,
sure.
It's a US company, you know, and there again, I don't have anything against Chinese knives or anything like that. That's not my game. But I think we as Americans want US companies to succeed and be, I mean, go you know, Team USA. You know, I don't know how else to put it. You want them to be successful, and it just every time it's like,
I mean, we've proven repeatedly that American knife companies can make a really nice $600 knife.
Yeah,
that's great, and that's awesome. But let's show that we can make a really good $50 knife.
Yeah. I hear you.
Or $100 knife, or whatever the Sejulo is.
Yeah, the Sejulo came in. I think this one with the reserve and shipping, it came in around 110, 115.
And dude, I'd have two. I love the look of that knife. It is fantastic looking. So maybe they'll do a V2.
Yeah.
Maybe. Right? Maybe they'll be like, oh, okay. So here's the Sejulo version 2, and they'll put a little inlay or something in it.
And seriously, without the finishing, the knife's solid for what it is. FRN handles, the texture, all that. I mean, it's solid. I just haven't carried it because it's like, I'm still torn. Do I want to do a warranty, or do I want to just finish it? And I wanted to get the blue handled one too, but.
Okay. Let me play devil advocate for a minute. Get over it. I mean, are we at that point?
I'm sorry?
No, okay, I probably said that wrong, but I mean, you know, is it time just to be done with, you know, okay, it's just never going to happen. We've waited and waited and waited and waited, and it's just never going to happen. with Gerber, or you know,
I think
these companies?
they're so close that they just need a small tweak on the finishing, and this is solid. This is solid. It's gold.
Well, and they need to stop with the 7CR crap too. I mean, that just
Well,
needs to
yeah. Sorry, I was just talking about this one. I mean,
yeah,
this
but, well, 'cause,
S30B.
like, yeah, like I
made here,
reviewed
so.
that little Asada, right? Which is
Oh
basically
yeah.
that was a nice little knife. I mean, I liked it actually. I think I gave it to you, Jody. I mean, it was a decent little. I mean, it's not perfect, but it was also like $35 or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it wasn't in that steel, you know, and not a steel snob at all, actually, but it was just like, again, it was like, just come on. So they, you know, I'm with you. I think what you were trying before I was rudely cutting you off, Zach. I mean, I think I think they're close, right? They're close. They could be getting there. I'm willing to give them, maybe to your question, you know, JB, I'm willing to give them a little bit more time.
Yeah. And that's what I was.
I mean, what am I doing?
That's what I was doing. That's all I was throwing out there. Is, I mean, you know, is it because I think, and for the longest time, I mean, saw Gerber both, like we've said, we were just waiting and waiting.
Well, I think we all would have been blown away though if they had just come out and fixed Zach's issue, and they said, "Hey, sorry about that. Here you go." You know, I think we're all just on the cusp of wanting to jump onto this thing.
Yeah, I'm totally. I agree with you. I'm right there with you.
I'm here, just like I said before. Any manufacturer, whether it be international or here in the U.S., can have this exact same problem with their knife.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. Easily. Yep.
And have.
True.
When I got my okay then. Not Hogue, the SIG. When I got the SIG K320, the one that I got it wasn't very well put together. There were finishing problems. It looked bad. And I did a video on it. And Hogue reached out to me and went, "That's not what we do. We don't know how that
exactly.
And they turned around and sent me another one. Right. You know, which was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And so the problem, I think really what Zach's experience is where the final breakdown the final change. Look at you guys, if they want to make 7CR 17 knives and sell them at Walmart and Big Five, good for them.
Yeah.
If they want to produce better knives for the rest of us, the collector tier, whatever, right? The harder user tier, whatever you want to call it, then they have to be good. And if they're not going to be good right off the bat, then they need to be fast in response and easy in response.
Well, customer service will kill them.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, we don't. You buy a knife. If you buy a $20 knife at Big Five and it doesn't work, you throw it away and you buy another one. If you buy $100 knife and it's not right, fix it.
Well, if you buy $100 knife from the manufacturer as a custom build,
right,
it has finishing issues, and you don't hear back from them for over a month. Yeah, no, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, man. And I think that's the video that needs to get made. You know, I mean, that's you know, I don't know who we are. We're in a sea of some really big fish. We're relatively small fish, but we can apply that kind of pressure. You know, like, hey guys, we want to love you, but you're gonna have to work a little bit harder at it. You know, or else you're going to end up having to hear conversations like this.
Yeah.
Now, does anything else?
No, I got it.
Yeah, and does anything else in their new lineup like catch your eye?
I see that
beautiful Ontario Rat 2 down there, looking good.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, he's got a BJ Hill special. I got one of those. I got one
of those.
See, now that's just it. Like I said, the Sumo caught my eye. The highbrow, I kind of like the looks of the highbrow. Let's get
now.
That
don't they have
there.
a fastball cleaver coming out?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. There's a lot of stuff that does catch my eye, but there again, I go back to, all right, Zach had issues. Maybe that was just because, you know. But anyway, yeah, there's your fastball cleaver right there.
That to me looks like such a great just like camp knife, outdoor carry. Where, you know, if you got a camp kitchen rolling on, you're just that looks fantastic.
Yeah, and let's see. Let me double check real quick. That's 20 CV.
Yeah. welcome to the knife world. Talk about a step up. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And I think, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just that kind of part of it though, is if you're going to be watching reviews, right? Especially from Zach, who's got several subscribers, as well as Nick.
Several.
Well, thousands.
A couple.
You know, and you're hearing from them that they're not getting a response. Does that make you want to go ahead and buy one of their knives?
No.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, I'm sorry, there again, outside voice. But no, it's why do we watch reviews?
Right.
We watch people. I watch people that I respect their reviews. You obviously you're all are here for a reason, right? I respect what you guys think about knives, and if you say, hey. Now, I know Peter's got large hands. He says, oh, this knife's too small for me. Okay, I get that. You know, there's a difference. But when Zach says something like, man, this knife, the finishing on this knife just, you know, and then knowing the process that goes through it just makes me be like, oh, I don't know if I want to deal with them.
I will say this in their defense. The warranty in return is really good with them. However, if you buy a reserve knife from their custom, you can't return it. So
man.
that's kind of the pickle I got stuck in. Otherwise, I would have just boxed this up and sent it back.
Right.
So now I'm like, okay, the only thing I can do is warranty it, and it's like, well, you know, I'm debating that right now. But I do like that cleaver kind of fastball right there. That's good.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of what they have is catching my eye, but again, it's just
in short, I'll spend the money on that. There will be one of those on the channel because I didn't try the original fastball. It's a smaller knife, and the original blade shape just didn't aesthetically appeal to me enough to want one. But this thing with the kind of chunky front end on it and the 20 cm blade, I will invest in one of those and give it a shot. And hopefully my experience is better than Zach's, but I hate that I have to say that part.
Well, and I'm with you, Peter. I will probably get a Sumo to check it out.
Nice.
I really, really, really want to check it out. I really do. So I'll probably get one and take a look at it. Just because there again, it goes back to, I really, really want Gerber, yay Gerber, you know, I really want that.
And I really actually like hearing from, there's so many people that make comments that are like, yeah, mine was great. You know,
yeah, exactly.
They're like, I got mine. It's great. People have sent me photos. And then the worst part is Nick gets his and it's the same condition as mine. And I'm like, wouldn't you, I mean, they sent it to him. So
right.
It's not like he just ordered it like I did.
Right.
It's like, you know, you would think you would like go, hey, you know, let's get a couple eyes on this and make sure we're good before we ship it out.
Well, and that's just it, you know, like there's been a couple of knives, you know, in the pass around group, you know, where we're like, you know, you hear people say, you know, hey, you know, these are pass around knives. These were provided by so-and-so. These very well could be the best ones they've ever made. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And in the back of your mind, don't you, like, on your point, Zach, wouldn't you kind of expect that? You know?
Yeah, and that's my thing is just,
yeah,
they're so close to hitting a home run. Or even, you know, an RBI bringing somebody in, like so close. It literally makes me want to just order some more knives. But I'm like, well, I want to get this one fixed.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'll probably finish this one myself and just live with the way the laser mark is and probably do a giveaway for it. And it's one of those things where it's like, now I'm looking at the other stuff, you know, because I've been looking at that fastball, you know, since the last year or more.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just, if you have a reviewer, Nick, you know, who says, okay, I review the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
Don't you, you know, like you said, Jody, don't you want to make sure that you're sending a good product? I mean, you know, you don't want to end up being one of the bad reviews. So like you said, get a couple set of eyes on it and make sure that it's.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in particular with Shabazz, you know, because we know knife people that actually are on the other side of this and knife manufacturers, you know, they're part of that industry now.
Of course.
There's something called the Shabazz effect.
Yeah.
which is when he promotes a knife, it sells out.
Yeah,
So you
totally.
really don't want to send him a knife that he's not going to go, he doesn't have to love it. That's not even it. If he just goes, yeah, it's okay, that's enough to promote a ton of sales.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he says this is, in his sort of polite way, but in the end, if he says this is junk, it will not, and it won't recover.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's weird to me. I'm sorry. That's so strange.
Here, no, but well, I mean, that's where the whole term that's where the whole term influencer comes from, right?
And yep. he does, but that's like saying we're going to buy airtime in the Super Bowl, and then we're going to put a product on there that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Get through.
So,
let's do that. Let's all buy airtime on the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Promote our channels.
Y'all know we've been doing this for 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to get to CRKT later.
Yeah.
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 JB, I do, because it's dinner time. It's past dinner time.
I hear you. So real quick, well, let's go ahead. We'll wrap this one up, guys. But real quick, out of the ones we took a look at today, who do you think's the winner?
We.
Yeah, it's gonna be we and Civivi.
Yeah, I'll say that.
I think it's pretty much
so we can buy them all.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But thank you guys so much for another awesome afternoon. I totally appreciate you guys giving up a big chunk of your Saturday afternoon to do this. Thank you so very much.
Anytime. This is awesome.
Brad, Casey, Zach, Peter, and Christine, love you guys more than you ever know. And just thank you so much for doing this.
Hey, the honor's mine, man.
JB.
Honor's mine.
Yeah.
So,
thanks for having us.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Hey, see you on SKL tonight? No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Saturday.
Shameless plug time. Y'all are gonna
be there.
We'll be there.
I don't know if doing it at the end of a 2.5-hour video is gonna get you the plug that you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We'll do better next time.
Yeah.
Right up front.
Yeah, there you go. Poor timing.
I'll try to be awake.
All right. All right, guys. You guys take it. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye, guys. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Oh, man.
Oh, let's see here. We're not off yet. Oh, of course it locked me out.